I've been reading a book called Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. I'm about halfway through, but the book has made me want to make a Filipino dish since it's been a while. I'll do a full review of the book once I'm finished with it, but the story is a cute murder mystery with a little romantic comedy sprinkled in. It centers around a Filipino family and their restaurant, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Here are all the ingredients that you're going to need. Sugar, vegetable oil, an egg, flour, ube jam, salt, baking powder, and confectioner's sugar. You can also add some purple food coloring to give your cookies that vibrant purple color, but I forgot to pick some up. You're going to start by creaming the sugar and the vegetable oil together. You shouldn't use your teeth to open things like this, but it's super easy and convenient. Once that's mixed together, you'll put in the egg. If you have a compost bucket, don't forget to put your shell in there. Let it all mix together until it's pretty fluffy and the color has gone a little pale. It'll take a few minutes, but it should look something like this. Now you're going to put in 2 cups of ube jam. It's pretty sticky and kind of tough to get out of the jar, so be ready to fight with it a little bit. Try not to eat too much of it while you're doing this, or you'll make yourself a little sick. Mix it all together until it's kind of creamy. I also decided to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract on a whim. You don't have to do this, but if you're feeling crazy like I was, then go ahead. After that's all mixed together, try to scrape off some of the mixture from the whisk, and if you have a bread hook attachment, go ahead and put that on your mixer. You can also mix it by hand if you don't have a stand mixer. We're going to add the flour next, and the dough is going to get a little tough. Add the flour a half cup at a time and use a rubber spatula to push down the dough while it's mixing. Just be sure to watch your hands. Once the flour is incorporated, then you're going to add the baking powder and the salt. Then you need to cover the bowl with plastic wrap. Dropping the entire roll into the bowl is optional. You'll need to let the dough chill out in the freezer for about 2 hours. If you're like me and have a small freezer, then the next step is to struggle trying to make room for your giant bowl. After 2 hours or so, the dough should be a little more solid and easier to work with. Go ahead and set it out and then preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Get a baking sheet out and then line it with some parchment paper. Now you're going to sift about half a cup of confectioner's sugar into a bowl. Try not to make a mess like I usually do. I think my arm just gets tired and I get a little lazy. Use a spoon to scoop out some of the dough and you'll want to roll them into balls about 1 or 2 inches around. I wouldn't stress too much about trying to be exact, I just kind of eyeball it and do what feels right. Then you're going to roll the ball in the sifted confectioner's sugar and put it on the lined baking sheet. Space them about 2 inches apart. Once the baking sheet is full, or you've used all if not most of your cookie dough, bake them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. I think I made mine a little thicker than I should have, so I ended up baking mine for about 15 minutes. Once they're done baking, take them out of the oven and let them rest on the baking sheet for 2 minutes. You can see they're a little bit of a pale purple color and not that vibrant purple you usually see. Again, I forgot to pick up some purple food coloring, but I decided to make them anyways. The food coloring is optional, but it does provide that vibrant purple that we like to see. Once a couple of minutes have gone by, go ahead and transfer them to a cooling rack and let them cool off for a few more minutes. Now you can relax and enjoy some of the cookies with a nice cup of coffee.